In this video, I'm going to share with you my 4 top reasons why I think your company should be using Monday.com. Hi, my name is Tara. I'm the founder of a company called Simple Day. Over the last 4 years, we've helped hundreds of companies get started with and use Monday.com. What does that actually mean? Basically, if you're new to Monday and don't know how to set it up, not sure how to organize it properly, or you probably could figure it out, but you just don't have the time because your time is more valuable spent somewhere else, then feel free to get in touch. We can definitely help you. My contact information is in the description below, and I'm really looking forward to meeting with you. And now let's start with reason number 1 why I think your company should be using Monday.com. And the first reason I would list is transparency. If you are working in a company and it's not just you, you need to understand what's going on throughout the company. Where are projects holding? Were specific tasks done? Were they not done? You need to understand everything that's going on. Now, obviously, in a managerial role, you're not going to want to be looking at every single little thing, but you need to have that transparency into projects. I can't tell you how many people I've spoken to that say to me, okay, so this person has everything in an Excel that's on their computer and we don't have access to, and they just went on a 3-week vacation, so we're not sure what to do with that. And this person is covering for someone else on maternity leave, and we're missing a document that she was working on. And this person, maybe they even are working in a tool like Monday, has their own boards that no one understands. So the idea is that things are set up in a standardized way, so that way the company as a whole knows how to use the boards and understands how they can find the information. Doesn't mean that everyone on the team should just go build their own Monday board and set it up however they want. I think that's a terrible idea. And I can't tell you, probably 9 out of 10 times I see people doing that. You need to have a standardization in terms of how the boards are set up. So that way people can see what they need to see. Managers can see where tasks are holding. Leadership can see what's going on with projects. It doesn't matter what vertical you're in, you need the transparency into what people are doing. Now, if you set up a system that you can track everything, you can just easily open up your Monday boards and you'll see it. Obviously, there's 2 levels to this, setting it up properly and then having people actually use it. But those 2 things are critical for transparency to what is going on in the projects or your clients or whatever you're doing within Monday. And this brings me to the second reason why I think it's really important to implement Monday in your company. You want to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. Now, once you've set up a system in step 1 and you have that full transparency, you're obviously going to make sure that all of the tasks are listed, everyone is assigned to their relevant tasks or projects, and there's due dates for everything. Once you have those 3 things, nothing's going to fall through the cracks. Again, this does depend on A, setting up a really good system, and B, having people actually use it. But if everything's entered into Monday and there's a clear owner assigned and a clear due date, nothing should fall through the cracks. And connected to this is automations, because then in order to make sure that nothing really falls through the cracks, you can have automations for things like if this date is passed and the status is not marked as done, notify someone. Or if a task doesn't have an owner, notify someone. These are just 2 simple examples of automations that you can use to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. And this leads me to the third reason, and that has to do with dashboards. Because once you've already set up Monday properly and you have everyone using it and nothing is falling through the cracks, then you can gain valuable insights into your company. For any company to run, and I see this firsthand as a business owner, you need to understand the metrics of what's working, what's not working, where should we put our efforts. And there's so much other information that you need data for. I'll just give you some examples from what I look at on a daily basis. I use the CRM. How many leads do we have coming in? How many leads do we have this month versus last month? How many leads did we have the same time period last year? What are the different sources of the leads? Like maybe one source is not doing really well. That's something that's really important to know so we can figure out why there's an issue or maybe transfer funds in our marketing spend to another source. How much revenue do we have? How many clients do we have? All of these type of things are things that I'm tracking within Monday, and being able to easily make dashboards within a couple of minutes is critical because I can see exactly where everything is holding within my business. For team leads, for managers, for executive teams, for anyone that is managing something, it's critical to have this data because data is what you want to make decisions on. You want to have data-driven decisions and not just randomly be like, okay, let's change this, let's change that because this is what we think. You need to use actual data to make decisions. And this leads me to the fourth reason why I think you need a tool like Monday. Monday recently announced that you can connect Monday to an MCP, which essentially connects to any AI tool. So this takes the dashboards and the transparency and making sure that nothing falls through the cracks to the next level. Let me explain why. So I have everything in Monday, but I actually connected Monday to Claude using the MCP. Once I connected it to Claude, I can simply chat with Claude and get all this information. So I actually set up my own agent and it's called Farah, like fake Tara. And Farah is my chief of staff. And essentially every morning, Farah runs a report for me on all the key metrics, where the projects are holding, who's behind, who's not behind, anything that's critical in those three other steps that we spoke about: transparency, making sure nothing falls through the cracks, and dashboards. Farah, through Claude, just runs this report for me. But it goes a step deeper when you bring AI into the mix, because once I bring in AI, I can also ask questions to it. So I don't need to be digging through data and all that. I can simply ask Farah, give me the information. Like, tell me, I don't know. I was looking the other day, I'm trying to think what I was looking into. I was looking the other day about our lead sources, and I wanted to understand how lead sources have done over time. So that's not a typical question in my report, but I asked it and it gave me the information. So having, I would say, a chief of staff that can give you all of this information from your Monday boards has definitely been a game changer. If you're not using Monday but thinking about it, I hope that these 4 reasons have helped convince you that your business definitely needs a tool like this. Comment in the comments below and let me know what you think. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and remember to subscribe to receive tips and tricks on how to use monday.com. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.